In Hogwarts Legacy, we know that the Floo Network is going to be a pretty big part of the game as it serves as our fast travel option from point A to point B. But since we first got introduced to the concept in a PlayStation blog post on May 24th of this year, we haven't really heard much else about it. Now, this wasn't the first time we get to see the Floo Flames, however. About 2 months prior, we saw several fast travel locations studded throughout the state of play, and with each piece of content put out by Hogwarts Legacy, we've seen more and more Floo Flame fast travel points. And it got me wondering, how many different spots do we know about at this point? And where are they? So I went through every piece of media they've released. We're talking YouTube, we're talking Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation blog posts, everything. And I found about 25 different fast travel points, most of them in the castle, a few of them in Hogsmeade and beyond. But what I wanted to do is put them on a map of Hogwarts so we could all see where they are in the castle and how frequently we can expect to unlock them. And thanks to a few Reddit users, I'll go ahead and put their information on the screen now. They've used bits and pieces of information that's been officially released to put together an unofficial map of Hogwarts that we'll get in the game. So stupefy the like button because I had a great time putting together this video for you guys, and it would mean so much to me if we could make this my most liked video ever. All we gotta do is get it to like 300 likes. But anyway, enough rambling. The first time they have any mention about the Floo Network and fast travel was in this post about the DualSense PlayStation controllers. We get a panning view of the Floo Flame over in Hogsmeade, and it's unclear where exactly it's located, but on the map I'll just go ahead and put a little star down here by this arrow. And now we'll get into the more juicy stuff over on the Hogwarts Legacy official YouTube channel. Now, there were no flames in the official reveal trailer, but the state of play did have several. Our first two show up in the opening shots at 1:29. We get this one here and another one about 20 feet away. And on the map, we've got the Viaduct Courtyard and the Viaduct Steps area, so I'll go ahead and add those in. I found that as I was plotting these out, it really helped me learn the locations of stuff around the map, so I'll try to break it down in a way that'll help you understand things as well as I did, because it was really fun following a map of Hogwarts, which is something I've always wanted to do and probably a lot of you have as well. Especially once I got to the gameplay showcase, because they really went through on a set path that kind of took you through the castle in a nice way. But skipping forward about 30-ish seconds in the state of play, we've got one Floo Flame in the Herbology greenhouse, and I'm going to guess that this tree right here is in the middle of the room and the entrance is probably somewhere over here. So that would put this Floo Flame right about there. Then we get this one in the training area near Hagrid's hut. Listen, I know that Hagrid doesn't show up for a long time after this, but that's what we're all going to call it and you know it, so that's just what we're going to go with here. So anyway, we've got this one back here, and it looks like it either hasn't been unlocked yet or we just don't have fast travel enabled at this point in the game. But since Hagrid's hut is back here and on the map it's over there, that must put this area right at this corner of the castle. And then there's actually another one at the hut itself, and because it's facing away from the school, it must sit right about here. Moving on to this clip of people dueling in the clock tower, we've got a Floo Flame in the back corner of the room, which is going to be right there on the map. And wrapping it up for the state of play, the last one we see is here on the left, which as you can see from a couple of these other shots is right here in the new courtyard area with this water fountain. So that brings our total so far, including the PlayStation blog post, to a whopping 8 Floo Flame locations. Continuing on through their YouTube page, there's nothing in the behind the scenes, nothing new in the rainy spring night or PS5 controller video. We do get one in the hot summer day ASMR video at 8:40. As the screen is panning up, we can see an unactivated Floo Flame on the outskirts of Hogsmeade, so I'll go ahead and put this one next to the arrow down here. There's nothing new in the Sebastian Dark Arts video, nothing new in the Collector's Edition video. Are those back in stock yet? Because I really want one. Avalanche, please, just please, like, make more. Anyway, we do see Floo Flames in both the Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff Common Room tour videos, but oddly enough, we don't see them in the Gryffindor and Slytherin ones. But it's safe to assume that if there's fast travel in 2 of the Common Rooms, there's fast travel in all of them. So I'll go ahead and add marks to these 3, and then for the Slytherin Common Room, I'm not entirely sure where it sits. We do know that it's probably close to or under the lake, thanks to this video from Twitter showing the main character casting a spell at the window while a fish swims by. So I'll go ahead and put a little star down here by the docks. There's no new flames in the Haunted Hogsmeade shop video. But now getting into the gameplay showcase, we'll see most of our remaining Floo Flame locations. The first one we see is a duplicate in the Hufflepuff Common Room, so fast forwarding a little bit to 1448, we see a new one at the top of the stairs titled the Grand Staircase. We also see what the flames will look like on the mini-map. The next one we see is another duplicate on the Viaduct Steps area. Then at 1855, we don't see the flame itself yet, but we can see it on the minimap, and that sits right about here in the Viaduct entrance. Then as they walk down the stairs, we can finally see it sitting across from the library, which means we are able to see flames that are on different floors than what we're currently on. After we talk to Nellie Ogspire about the Daedalian keys, we walk past another one in the Transfiguration courtyard. Then we've got another one that pops up on the minimap while we're on the stairs in the Dark Arts wing. We can't actually see where this one is, so it must be up on a higher floor. Now this section of the map is the only part where I'm not totally sure if I got everything in the right location. The way this section of the map is here, the dimensions don't really match up with how they're walking around the castle, but the flames are still going to be in roughly the same location, so I'll go ahead and add them to the map. When we walk out of the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, there's one straight across from the door, then there's another one that sits next to this really fancy door on the floor above, which should be right about here. The character then walks out of this door here and across the bridge, roughly following this path all the way to the clock tower, where we see again this Floo flame we marked from the state of play. After all the combat is over, he walks out along this bridge, and at the end of it, there is one last Floo flame in the gameplay showcase, which I will mark right here because it runs off the map. Now we're not quite done yet, so bear with me for these last few. In the fall ASMR video, we get one more during the first scene, and I'm going to mark it on the map somewhere over here because you can see the Great Hall in the distance, which means it's not quite the same direction as Hogsmeade. I don't know what the significance of this place is, if there is any. And then taking a stroll back a few months over to Twitter, in the North Tower / Divination clip, they show us a Floo flame next to some artwork of a centaur, which should go in here in this tower, I think, if I'm reading the map correctly. And that is the last one I was able to find, which gives us this. The final map of the current known Floo flame locations. Feel free to take a screenshot of that for later use if you like. I'll update this map anytime we get new flame locations to add to it, and then I'll post it over on my Twitter. So follow me over there at WizardingNerd, and drop a like on this video if you liked it, and also subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be covering all sorts of stuff on Hogwarts Legacy up until the point when the game actually comes out, and then once it does, I'll be streaming and covering all sorts of stuff then as well. But that's all I've got for you today. I will catch you next time, nerds.